I didn't think Arizona State was really in any danger of losing Kenny Dillingham this coaching cycle, even as crazy as it was predicted to be. I didn't think a job big enough that could actually pull him away from his alma mater would get to him on their list. That was the basic logic for me. But, well, you'll have to hear the audio. Okay. You'll hear the audio in a moment. All right. Kenny Dillingham has been mentioned as a comment multiple places. Auburn and LSU for sure. Penn State maybe too. I saw some people throwing out Penn State. I can't remember seeing him on a Penn State hot board, but he's a hot coaching name right now. I mean, the job that he's done to have ASU here at 6-3 without Sam Leavitt for multiple games, without Jordan Tyson for multiple games, Leavitt now out for the year, Jeff Sims winning games for them when he's already a guy that like resurrected the career of Bo Nix. You know, I mean, he's proving again that he can take a quarterback that's been discarded in college football and turn them into something. And they have, I mean, go look at Arizona State's schedule the rest of the year. It's manageable, man. Very manageable. They could still finish 9-3. Absolutely could. So I thought here, like Auburn is probably not a place quite big enough or a job at least like quite stable enough to pull Kenny Dillingham from Arizona State. And at the same time, LSU would be swinging more for the fences than Kenny Dillingham. Nothing against Kenny Dillingham. I don't even think I agree with that. LSU should go find a good coach, not a big name. But that seems like the LSU vibe, right? So I didn't think that this would really be much of an issue. And then I think it was Chris Cartman, who does a really good job covering Arizona State, who had reported initially that Dillingham, supposedly in a team meeting, told the players that he wasn't going to be going anywhere. And then Dillingham went on local radio after that and said, quote, "Those are the things that matter to me, are the relationships that you build along the way. So for me, I keep my head down and do the best job I can for our players because that's what this is all about. I've said from the beginning, my next door neighbor is my sister. My parents live 3 doors down. My wife's parents live 5 doors down. My wife's as competitive a person as you'll ever see. She's a person who wants to win national championships. She's a person who wants to win. She's competitive and loves ball." So, you know, those quotes, that was really celebrated, understandably so, around Tempe and Arizona State. But the internet has latched onto a quote. The internet has latched onto a soundbite from good old Kenny Dillingham this week. Okay. And I'll play this first. I will give you my reaction to it on the other side. I will play this first and we'll see what you guys think of it. Okay. I know sometimes the audio is a little quiet here, but bear with me.
This program is not Kenny Dillingham. This program is player driven. It is the players. It is the fans showing up and selling out games. That's what wins in college football. Coaches are not nearly as valuable as everything else, right? So our players are the forefront of our program.
Okay. You can see the quote there. This program is not Kenny Dillingham. It's the players. And he goes on to say, like, hey, coaches aren't nearly as important as the players in the program. And, well, noble, you know, I mean, that's noble on one count. But the other side of it is everybody, if you go look at the quotes, they're like, oh, buddy, 1 foot out the door, trying to soften that blow, saying this program it's bigger than Kenny Dillingham, AKA when I leave, the program will be fine, trying to soften that blow. Also amid a week where it's like there have been all these rumors of Kenny Dillingham interviewing places, which seems a little silly to me because let me go double check this. But didn't Arizona State have a bye last week? Like the week for interviews would have been during a bye week. It was, yeah, because he said he was going to give the whole team the week off. The week for interviews, guys, would have been the bye week, not when he comes up to actually have a game this week. So that's point number one, right? Like the internet does not always know what it is talking about. The internet does not always know what it is talking about when it comes to speculating about things of this nature. All right. Point one. Point two, we have no real idea. I don't know what the question was that was asked there. I don't know what the rest of the response was. That is a 15-second snippet that seems just primed for the internet to jump on. I have been to a million press conferences in my day. Again, for those of you who are fairly new to the channel, I mean, I spent 10 years covering K-State and traveling across the entire Big 12. I've been to a bazillion of those things. And yeah, there are a lot of times where something from that will get taken out of context and you'll kind of look back and be like, all right, well, that wasn't really fair how that was presented by either me or somebody else, whether it was intentional or not. So having that perspective on it, I'm inclined to be a little more like, just roll my eyes a bit at it. Like, okay, am I thinking that Kenny Dillingham is for sure leaving? No. Am I thinking that he's for sure staying? No. But I don't think my stance has changed because of that clip. I think my stance was the same because there are so many jobs open and we really have no idea like what the dominoes will be that will fall from this. I have no idea what the fallout is going to be from all of these big jobs that are open. So we shall see. Make no mistake, if the Big 12 loses Kenny Dillingham, that's a big blow for the conference. We obviously saw what he could do last year when his stars stay healthy. Okay. I think and what he's done this year to follow that up, especially with, again, everything they've dealt with. I think he's really reinforced. That was not a 1-year flash in the pan. This guy can coach. The fact that he's an alum is the thing that would really sting there. It's like, it's one thing if you lose a really good coach from your conference, and the Big 12 is no stranger to having everyone trying to chase down Matt Campbell or Chris Kleiman or Lance Leipold. Jed Fish did leave before he quite got to the conference, right? Like, Big 12 coaches have been chased before. Most of the time they haven't left. They especially haven't left when they've been an alum of the school. That would sting, obviously, for Arizona State, but I think even for the Big 12 and just a shot across the bow of the landscape that we're in, especially like if it were for like Auburn. I don't need Auburn fans blowing up the comments. I respect your program immensely. There's a high upside with that job, but there's also a pretty low floor, especially because you're neighbor to Alabama. And it's kind of a toxic, crazy job and environment. You could be run out of there in 2.5 years easy. So I don't know. If it's Auburn, if he's leaving his alma mater in the Big 12 for Auburn, that's a tough blow for the Big 12. I still don't think that's going to happen. But hey, if LSU decides we just want to hire the best coach out there and we don't care about the name, oh boy, that'd be a pretty smart move, I think, for LSU's sake. I think Kenny Dillingham would be great there. And that's the type of job where you just sort of have to tip your cap if that actually happens. But in the end, to close this segment, Bracket Cat, I think, hits the nail on the head. The internet rarely knows what it's talking about. That is correct. That is correct. But boy, the internet will sure tell you what they think. I promise you that. Okay, let's get to a couple of super chats here before we talk the week in Big 12 football. Gentle Brutality says BYU and Texas Tech on hangover upset alert. Oh, I'm going to get to that. I wrote about that in Open for Business this week, ofbnews.com, or click the link in the description to subscribe to the Open for Business Big 12 newsletter twice a week for free to your inbox.